Hey guys, Barry at CTech-review. Today, we are going to do something fun. I'm going to show you what some different regional markets look like on a few different things. What does the truck market look like? What is the F-150 Lightning? Some of the other like full-size SUVs. Plus, I want to revisit a topic, if you can tell by the trees. I am not in Michigan right now. I want to revisit a topic talking about trucks like this, cab over chassis trucks that we did about a year ago in this climate, and it looks like Ford made some changes. Let's do this. So here we are, it's got some used trucks here, but here we are in Cocoa, Florida. And I just want to take the opportunity to kind of see what does the situation look like down here in Florida. And they got a pretty big range of trucks. They got some long bed trucks here. They got some pretty cool Coyote short bed 4x4s. They've got some new Expeditions. And this is the first time I've actually seen the Platinum in the black. This thing looks sweet. I totally dig that. Those wheels look nice on it. And then obviously they got a trimmer. They got a shelter green Bronco Raptor. And if you haven't seen this new color, guys, this desert sand, such a cool color. But some things that are catching me off guard, it's interesting to see. Look at how many F-150 Lightnings they have, quite a bit. Now, I don't have a lot of experience at this specific dealership to look at how their inventory compares to other times, but it's pretty full. But one thing I want to focus on here, this is a chassis cab F550, and I want to show you guys something I'm really happy to see. So if you're not familiar with the chassis cab trucks in these configurations, the manufacturers make these trucks, and then an upfitter would put some sort of configuration on the back. It could be a box, it could be a flatbed, it could be a dump box, it could be a lot of different things. Some things I'm seeing on this that I'm really happy to see that are different from when I was looking at these trucks about a year ago. Check out the undercoating on this thing. Looks great. Look at the exhaust system. Look at all the housing. Everything looks to have a much better finish on it. I'm not seeing any types of corrosion. And this is in a similar area as to where it was last year. Kind of see the hubs here. And I want to show you the front hubs. I don't see any surface corrosion. E-coating, everything looks solid. Now I know what you're going to say. You just saw the drive shaft peek through. Yep, these drive shafts always are cast and they always have surface level corrosion, but everything looked good here. And this is a truck that is a 2024 that's almost 9 months old. So it's seen a lot of sunlight and a lot of, UV rays. So it looks good. Here's another 550 Power Stroke diesel, big boy. Once again, everything looks really good underneath this. And they've actually got a lot of fleet trucks here. This is a pretty sweet looking little truck. I like for 25. I think this Lariat with the new Maverick, I think it looks really sharp. It's got some nice looking wheels on it. I totally dig that they're putting the desert sand in so many vehicles, and this little Maverick looks super cool. I have a feeling Ford's going to bring that back in the the Raptor for 26 model year. Kind of fun to look at a Platinum non-plus package because I'm trying to kind of compare. It's still got a very similar looking grille, and now I'm just wondering, it does not have the checkered leather interior, but it still looks very similar as far as options, but it is about $3,000 less than the one we just did the video on recently. Okay, so as we're walking through the parking lot, what I'm looking for are specific trends different from Michigan. And what I'm seeing here, seeing a lot of XLTs, some Lariats, some Platinums, black appearance packages, decent selection of F-150s. I don't know how that compares to normal, but they do have some F-150 selection. And in full fairness, they've got a lot more than a dealership by us, which I was kind of surprised about. We look at the Explorer Sport, quite a decent selection. No surprise, a lot of Mustangs, warm climate, bunch of new Ford Explorers. They even had 2 dark horses on the lot, which I was kind of surprised. All right, now let's take a little gander over at a Ram dealership down here and see what they got. And I could already see they've got some stuff that I'm kind of excited to see that I actually hadn't seen in person up to this point. They have a bunch of the new 25 Ram 2500s in stock. I think this is the same color Jason just got in his Power Wagon. And this is the first time I've had a chance to see the new heavy duty front end. The bumper looks the same. The grille design is obviously a little different, but it looks nice. Here's a white one. That looks pretty sharp. And then they've got more of a base model. They got good Ram 1500 inventory. This is the color that TRD John's new RHO is, the forged blue. I think that's a really sharp color. It's one that I've been looking at myself. But look at the difference in that sport front end versus the standard front end. I just think this hood makes it look so much tougher. But they've got a pretty good selection here. But check out what they have right here. Rebel X. That is a good looking truck. Dig the color. You guys know I'm partial to this color, but this looks sharp. This is a Rebel X Crew. It's got the 3-liter high output Hurricane. Now what's fun is kind of comparing this to the RHO interior. This first chance I've actually had to be in the X model. Looking first class, it's the seats look identical. Yeah, this material is a little bit different here. Suede looks nice. Same stitching, same cover on the top of the center console, except it says Rebel X. And in full fairness, I think that looks sweet. I like that they've got the center console shifter. Nice covering here. A little bit different material around here as well as around here, but still soft touch. Got an Alcantara here. Got folding mirrors. A little bit different covering material on the top of dash, but you still got the Harman Kardon stereo, and it's a soft touch. Still got the digital infotainment with the 14.5-inch display. That looks nice. Like how that says sport mode, so that's kind of unique to the Rebel X. So that's kind of cool. Still got the paddle shifter. Steering wheel feels nice. Yeah, this looks really nice actually. Nice truck, panoramic sunroof, $73,365. But check out the fuel economy, 17 city, 24 highway, 19 combined. That's really good. Doesn't come with spray and bed liner. Look at the second row. You still got the nice appointments. Looks nice. I think this is, yes it is, reclining second row. And it has heated second row, not heated and cooled, but it's still like all the materials, the colors, the stitching. It's got the big fold down center console in the rear. It's a nice truck. Still got the storage in the floor down below. It's got the Goodyear Wranglers. I think these are the Duratrack, yep. And what do we got in the rear here? Just the same type of rear bumper as the RHO, similar hitch. A little bit different exhaust tips, but that's a nice looking truck. Looking at the front end versus the RHO to kind of compare, it's similar but different. So the headlights, very similar. You can see the honeycomb is very similar, except there's a deeper brow on the RHO. It kind of comes down a little bit more. Front bumper looks identical. Sensors look the same. Tow hooks look the same. Let's see how this looks for a skid plate down below. This looks like even the same type of skid plate. Oh, nope, it is not. It does not have the skid plate that connects from the front bumper down to the front cross member, but it's got those real nice Bilstein shocks. Yeah, you got the LED headlights, but these are actually a little different as well. This is a reflector LED, not a projector LED. But I like this. This thing looks great. For people looking on a budget though, man, this is a value truck right here. I think this is a pretty low-level tradesman. But you've got the 3-liter high output Hurricane. You got front bumper sensors. Can tell it's got LED headlights. Let's see what MSRP on this thing is. I'm really curious. $53,600. This is a 4-wheel drive. But so this is what your base tradesman looks like. So you don't have the soft touch on the tops of doors or on the sides or down below, but you still do have auto down windows, 6-row seating, which is nice. And which is nice is you still have a decent center console if you want it like a center console. You still got a good 8-inch display. Oh, for the money, I think this is a heck of a truck, especially with some of the discounts they're doing right now. I'm curious if this thing still has the good storage in the floor. Sure does. Yep, and you still got a cup holder in the second row, which a lot of the competitive brands do not have this. This is a high value truck. I know it's 53 grand, but when you look at some of the discounts right now, I bet you can get something like this for 43 grand. And it's got the dual exhaust coming out of the back. Huh. I didn't realize they had that. It looks nice. So what about Wranglers? Dude, they are loaded up on Wranglers. Makes sense, we're in Florida. Probably a lot of people buy these, but wow, a bunch of Wranglers. A bunch of cool colors too. That orange looks sweet. I like the Rubicon with the blue accents. I know that's a 4XE package, but check that out. Got a worn winch on the front. That's pretty slick. Very cool. Here's another one, non-4XE. This thing looks cool, this Willys 4XE. Old school looking rims. Wow, is that neat? $72,000 for a Jeep Wrangler. That is a lot of money, but it is really cool looking. That is probably one of the cooler Jeeps I've seen in a while. Here's an extreme package. Oh, I see a few of them actually. I'll tell you where Jeep has still nailed it. Their soft tops looks a lot better than the Ford Bronco soft top. They did a good job on this. The Ford one just, for some reason, just does not look as good. This thing almost looks like a hard roof. Like when you look at it, you'll see a lot of weird wrinkles in the windows. Looks good. So I'm curious what you guys think of the Jeep Gladiator Rubicon. This is a truck I've always thought's pretty neat. My buddy Jason Samko, if you watch his channel, he just had one of these things for the past few years and put 60,000 miles on it, and it was one of his favorite vehicles. He really loved it. This one here, $59,000. Pretty good looking truck. Comes on Wild Peak. I think they're like 33 or 33 and a halves. But some of the things I really dig about the Rubicons, look at the rock rails, front and rear, just little things like that. This is something I think marketing wise, I always thought was really cool. The little tire tread right here. This is so if you ever put a dirt bike in the back of the truck, if you put your tires into that spot and in this spot, your handlebars up above won't touch. Pretty neat little things that the marketers did on this truck when they came out with it. Plus, look how easy it is to get into this thing. The bed height for load leveling and for getting into the load is not bad at all. Man, I thought we'd saw all the inventory till now I came over here and look at all the Gladiators these guys have. A ton. You want Mojaves, you want Rubicons, Willys, Sports. They must have 60 different Gladiators here. Wild. Plus, here's another thing I think it's pretty cool. Check this out. So for people saying there's not a difference from 24 to 25 in a Ram HD, well, 25, 24, 25, 24. Can you see any differences? You'll notice right away the bumpers look pretty similar as far as the contour, the shape, the tow hooks. I don't see really much difference there, especially when you compare these side to side. The thing I like is LED lights, even in a base model 25 Ram 1500 and the headlights. That's awesome. The new grille design, I don't know. It's not a huge difference. The hood shape, very similar. I'm not seeing much difference there. We go on the sides of the truck, not much difference there as well. We go on the back of the trucks, not a big difference, but it is kind of nice to at least see, you know, kind of different trucks and what they look like. But some of the subtle changes for 25, here's a crew cab bighorn, $59,000. But for 59 grand now, they got rid of obviously the dial shifter and it went back to a standard stock. You got the bigger 8-inch display standard and really nice comfortable seats. This isn't even a tradesman. That's a nice truck for 59 grand. Also, I'd be curious if you're gonna buy a new Ram heavy duty, what engine you going with? You gonna go with the tried and true Cummins? Or are you gonna go with the tried and true 6.4 gas V8? I know we just had a really great discussion recently with the G4 podcast, and actually all four of us on the channel agreed our next heavy duty truck wouldn't be a diesel, and we've all owned heavy duty diesel trucks, and some of us many. We'd go with the gas engine. And you might ask why? Well, I love the Cummins engine, and it was an awesome truck to own. Engine braking, performance, everything's great. But the advantage of the gas engine is $10,000 less expensive to buy at the beginning. Cheaper oil changes, not having to do fuel filters every 30,000 or 20,000 miles. One battery versus two, expensive, more maintenance, just generally speaking, potential of after treatment issues. But if you're towing heavy all the time or going through the mountains, you're not going to beat a diesel. But for our needs, we'd probably all go back to a gas heavy duty. Okay, check this out. 71,000 down to $48,000. This is a 2024 brand new RT Stage 1. And they got this thing marked down from 71 grand to $48,000. That's a huge discount. I was just looking at the interior of this thing. These are actually really nice inside. Kind of got a cool looking theme. Dash layout, everything looks really nice in a huge second row. This is by far the best second row in the muscle car class, if you call it a muscle car with an electric motor. But I think this is pretty interesting. The fact this thing is marked down so heavily, that's a huge discount. So this is what's interesting, and I know I read your guys' comments quite often down below, is you see the regionalized dealerships and the regionalized marketing, completely different dealer inventory than we would see in Michigan. We would never, hardly ever, see a dealership with that many Wranglers sitting on their lot. Plus, these guys, oddly enough, have a bunch of brand new heavy duties, plus a great selection of Ram 1500s. So you can see this is a little bit different market conditions down here in Florida than we have here in Michigan. I'm going to continue to kind of keep monitoring this. I'm curious to see if we are seeing a slowdown in other regions versus some other regions. I know by us, it seems like the dealers are more in tune with keeping their eyes on inventory, and we're seeing a lot of dealerships diminishing inventory, but it seems like there's more down here. Anyhow, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, feel free to give me a like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.